House number 23 on Maple Street had stood abandoned for nearly a decade. Yet every Monday morning, Paul Henderson, the neighborhood mailman, still stopped at the rusty gate, dropped a letter into the mailbox, and moved on. No recipient. No return address. But the letter was always there, week after week. Paul had never questioned it. A job is a job. But today, he lingered longer. The mailbox creaked open. The letter was still there, yellowed from sun and rain. He picked it up. No name. Just one haunting line. Don't forget me. 3 days later, a gray SUV pulled up in front of the house. A woman stepped out, black hair, sharp features, eyes that looked like they hadn't slept in years. Evelyn Carter, 29, freelance editor, and the youngest daughter of the family that once lived there. She didn't come back for nostalgia. She returned because of a call. A distorted male voice crackled through her phone one sleepless night. "Miss Carter, your father, he didn't die like they told you." Evelyn remembered her father, Raymond Carter, as a gentle man who loved classical music and gardening. One July afternoon in 2015, he left to buy milk and never came back. No body, no clues. After months of investigation, the police closed the case. Presumed dead. Evelyn was 19. She never believed it. The house hadn't changed. Dust blanketed every surface. In her father's study, she found a stack of handwritten pages, his journal. Ink smudged, margins filled with frantic scribbles. "I don't know what's real anymore. Someone else is in this house. Or maybe I'm trapped in my own memory." The first person Evelyn saw was Mrs. June from number 25. Nearly 80, hunched over, but her eyes were sharp. "You're Evelyn, aren't you?" The old woman smiled faintly. "Your father, he was a good man. But he knew things. Things no one should." "What do you mean?" "There are truths buried too deep. Digging them up can bury you instead." Behind the bookshelf in her father's study, Evelyn found a tiny surveillance camera. Military grade. Still operational. The hard drive was intact, storing footage from over 10 years. But what made her heart stop were the videos, clips of the living room, taken at night. A man appeared in the footage. Not a shadow. A figure. And he looked exactly like her father. A week later, Evelyn received a text message. "You're getting too close. Leave now." She replied, "Who are you?" No answer. That night, she awoke to the sound of piano music downstairs. She crept out of bed, heart pounding. No one was there. Just the old piano and an open sheet of music, Clair de Lune, her father's favorite. She remembered something, a story her father once told her about a secret under the study floor. Evelyn pried up the tiles. There, under the wooden panels, lay a rusted metal chest. Inside were dozens of documents, photos, letters, cassette tapes, all tied to a government project called Orpheus. Classified materials. At the bottom, a letter her father had written to a federal agency but never mailed. "I can't stay silent. Project Orpheus is tampering with human memory. And I was part of it. I've resigned, but they won't let me go." Since uncovering the files, Evelyn knew she was being watched. Black SUVs lingered on her street. Once, she returned to find her laptop wiped clean. No messages. No more piano music. Only silence. But she had one last person to turn to, her estranged brother, Miles Carter. A former military software engineer who hadn't spoken to her in 5 years. Miles showed up at the doorstep, thinner than she remembered. Tired eyes. "You found it, didn't you?" he asked. She nodded. He took a deep breath. "Dad didn't leave us. They erased him. Erased his memory. And locked him in this house. He became part of the experiment." "What are you saying?" "I helped design the early versions of the tech they used. They thought they could delete trauma. But it didn't work. People lost more than pain. They lost who they were. Some just vanished inside their own heads." Evelyn decided to release the documents. She contacted a well-known investigative journalist and arranged a meeting. But that night, house number 23 caught fire. She escaped in time. The files didn't. The official report: faulty wiring. Miles disappeared. Evelyn had no proof left. 2 months later, a plain brown envelope arrived in her mailbox. No return address. Inside was a cassette tape. And her father's voice. "Evelyn, if you're hearing this, it means I failed. But you didn't. You did what I couldn't. You faced it. I'm sorry I wasn't stronger. But remember this: memory is power. And they can't take yours unless you let them." A pause. Then soft piano music filled the tape. Claire de Lune. Like he never left.